Yep, it is. Welcome to Oklahoma's postgame press conference for the 2022 NCAA March Madness first round. We are joined by Oklahoma head coach Jenny Baranczyk and student athletes Maddie Williams and Taylor Robertson. Oklahoma head coach Jenny Baranczyk will give a brief opening statement before the student athletes receive questions. Following our student athlete availability, we will open the coach portion of the press conference.
Well, I can promise you I've been on the bad side of seeding, and I think IUPUI is a little bit better than a 13 seed. They're a very good basketball team. They've got great experience, and it was great March Madness in the Knapp Center, the Knapp Center. That's where I used to be, in the Lloyd Noble Center. Sorry, that's the first time I've done that the whole year. It's the first time, so I'm sorry. It's coming out now. The other thing, how about our fans? It was amazing. 9 o'clock at night. I just couldn't be more proud to be at Oklahoma with everybody's support. It was phenomenal to be able to see that and feel that energy tonight. So what an awesome way to host our first NCAA tournament game.
First chair on the right.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman. Taylor, first for you, and then for Maddie. Did you feel like early with the pace that y'all were playing with that you could wear them down? And in the third quarter, you started with that run there early. Did you feel like y'all were really starting to do that? Tire them out a little bit?
Yeah, I think as the game goes on, our pace kind of wears on everybody that we play against because we try to get up and down so fast. And I think that we were able to get more open looks because they either start running to the paint or they start running out on shooters, and then we just get wide open looks at the basket. And I think that our transition game was pretty good.
I think we did a good job running. And, yeah, like Rob says, that wears people out. So we just make sure that we keep doing that.
Next question. We'll continue on the right side, third row, second chair.
I know, 1, 2.
Jesse Curtin, a Norman transcript. Jenny, wanted to ask, it seemed like there were a couple times in that second half you guys looked like you were going to run away with it, and they kind of responded, and you guys were able to kind of hold them off, from taking over the game. Just what did you see from your team's response, especially a couple times in that second half?
I think our balance continues to just come out, and teams do make runs. And honestly, obviously the free throw line, we'll be practicing some free throws tomorrow to be prepared for our next game. And then, some of those shots look like they're in, and they didn't go in. And I was proud of most of our decision-making in terms of our shot selection. Some of it, maybe we could work it a little bit more, especially in that fourth quarter. But I thought overall our pace was pretty good, and we also knew that they had runs in them. They've had a lot of games like we've had this year, and they've had, they've been down 18 and come back and won. We've been down 19 and come back and won. So we're very similar in that sense. So you never felt like, oh, we're just going to go run away with a game. We knew we needed to keep playing. But I thought when we really needed to get some stops, we got some. We just needed to key on a couple other things, especially like the rebounds.
Next question will go to the left, first chair inside. Just a reminder, this first portion is only for student-athlete questions.
Oh, my bad.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. For Taylor and then Maddie, you guys needed all hands on deck tonight, and you had Skylar back a week ago. Didn't look like she was going to. How valuable was it to have her tonight, and how happy was she to get to be a part of it? A week ago, it didn't look very promising.
I know she was happy to be back for sure, and we all were happy, just as happy or even more happy to have her back because she's a huge part of our team, and she just gives us such a lift when she comes into the game on offense and defense. So having her back tonight was huge.
Yeah, having her spark, having her energy, her points, her rebounds, her defense, her versatility was just something that we needed tonight, and we were excited to have.
We'll continue on the left side, first row, first chair.
Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World. This is for Taylor and Maddie. Just a simple question. Was playing in the NCAA tournament everything you expected it to be first time in your careers?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Glad we won. That helps.
We ain't going home.
Yep.
We'll go front right, second chair.
It's our bedtime.
James Hale, CBS Sports Radio in Oklahoma City. Maddie, you first, then Taylor. In the second half, you really turned this game around, I thought, on the defensive end. You forced them into a lot of stops, and then you guys got going one-on-one, and you got going. Maddie, talk about the transition when you were able to stop them, how you guys got going offensively.
Yeah, I mean, defense helps our offense tremendously. It gives us energy, and it allows us to run and not think about the previous play. And it allows us to come down and execute on offense.
And Taylor, you finally got some shots in the second half.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was we were able to get stops and actually get rebounds so we could push the tempo on offense. And a lot of people were able to set a really good screen where they hit my girl and the help wasn't there on the screen. So it was just really good screens and awareness by all my teammates that did that for me.
Any additional student-athlete questions? We'll continue on the front row on the far right.
Nick Copel from the OU Daily. This is a question for both of you, and Matt can go first. The energy from the crowd tonight was really good. It was probably some of the best crowd you've had all season long. Just how much did you guys just feed off of that energy, and how much did it just help you guys win tonight?
No, yeah, the crowd was great tonight. We had people come out, and they were cheering, and they were up on their feet, and they responded whenever things were going bad and whenever things were going good. And it's just great to see the Lloyd Noble start to fill up again.
Just like she said, it's really cool to see a ton of people here because we haven't always been able to have that since we've been here. And it's just really cool to be able to have that March Madness feeling in the air. You can just feel it in the crowd, and it's just a really cool feeling when you have so many people behind you and will you to win.
I saw everybody just on the team going absolutely crazy when D. Lampkin hit a three, and everyone was going crazy. The bench was jumping. You guys on the floor were hype as well. Just what's it like to just see everyone getting involved and everyone in the scoring, and just seeing even Lampkin hitting a three like that?
It's great. I mean, it gives us energy, and that's one of the things that we need to be able to keep playing with at the intensity that we're playing at.
Yeah, same. And it just gives everybody confidence because we all have confidence in each other. And especially when D just steps into a three and knocks it down, that just is a huge confidence boost to everybody on the floor.
Does she hit threes in practice often?
Yeah, they have to. They shoot them, they practice them. And free throws tomorrow.
We'll continue on the right side in the second row, far right.
Hi guys, Grace Briette, OU Nightly. For Maddie and then Taylor, what does it mean to you guys after somewhat of a rough season last year to now be going into the second round of the NCAA tournament? It's a pretty simple question, just how are you guys feeling?
I feel great. I mean, it wasn't just last year. It's been rough for the last 3 years since we've been here. But, I mean, we made it, and we're here, and we're blessed to be here. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, same. We're really excited, and we're not done. We aren't going home yet, so we get another chance to play, and then hopefully we get even more chances after that.
Any additional questions? Thank you, Maddie and Taylor. You're now dismissed.
Cool.
Oh, great.
Thanks.
Thanks, y'all.
Go 1, 2, 3, and then. First chair on the left, front row.
Hey, Ryan Chapman, SI Sooners. Jenny, you mentioned the defensive adjustments in the second half. Macy Williams, 14 first half points, just 3 in the second half. What was your message to the team at halftime, and what were they able to do to limit her in the second half?
Well, we had to defend her a variety of ways, to be honest. And and watching her, you knew that she was good, you respected her, but when you go against somebody live, you really get the real story. And she's good. I mean, she's a very, very good basketball player, and she just makes everyone around her really great. What really hurt us though was the offensive rebounds, and that was in both halves. So that was one adjustment I don't think that we made. I think the adjustments that we did make, we just tried to change up different looks. So we obviously fouled her a few too many times, but at the same time, I thought our team did a really nice job of being able to really adjust every few minutes on changing what we were trying to do.
We'll stay on the left side, second chair.
Jenny, I wanted to ask you about Skylar and just the timeline. When did you really feel good about her being able to produce, and what was it like to see her score 2 quick baskets in the first minute that she was in the game?
Well, yesterday was the first day that we actually knew that she would maybe get some time, and so she was a little bit limited, although she played quite a bit tonight. Skylar's she's just one that she just always has a smile on her face, or she just gets to work, and she just got to work. And I love that about her. I love that, nothing really phases her. And so she's such an integral part of this team, just with the energy that she brings every single day. So we are so happy that she got to step on the floor today. And yes, obviously there was some production and she did some really good things, but more than that, we're just happy she gets to keep playing.
We'll go to the right side.
From the Oklahoman. Jenny, I want to ask you about the perimeter defense. Held them, what was it, 21% from beyond the arc. Obviously, they're shooting more there at the end. But what do you feel like y'all did well there in trying to take away other options other than just Macy Williams?
Well, I think in the first half we were a little too patterned in our game plan. And so, obviously Macy Williams was able to do what she wanted to, but then she's a great player to be able to pick apart with her passes. And so there were a lot of set people that had their feet set and they were able to shoot the ball pretty well from three. I thought in the second half we caused a little bit more chaos. And so some of it, they hit some shots obviously at the very end. Those are the ones I'm not super happy about, but some of the other ones you got to give them credit for too, because they're a good 3-point shooting team. But I think a lot of it was just the adjustment that our players made at halftime.
We'll stay on the right side, first row, second chair.
James Hale, CBS Sports Radio in Oklahoma City. Jenny, again, the scramble, even when they put up 3 shots, you eventually got the rebound, and Maddie would go one-on-one, and you got Taylor open. We talk about that kind of offense because you needed that. You never really felt comfortable in the game, I'm sure.
No, and, that's what's really fun to be able to have, because a lot of times, those two could put a lot of pressure on themselves in a game like that, and it's not always easy to play in a game like that. And you see teams all over the country that get a little bit tight, and I don't think that we did that. I thought Maddie was incredible from the very beginning. I really thought she did a great job of really trying to get to the basket. Sometimes she overpassed a little bit. But also she read what they were giving her at the same time too. So I think both of them, they do a really nice job of having a balance of being able to still focus on themselves and not try to fix everybody, but still build everybody up. They're constantly having conversation at a timeout. If you watch our timeouts, there's conversation. It's not just me talking at them, and I love that. I love that they're strategizing, they're talking to each other. So I think from that standpoint, they bring a lot more than maybe what everybody sees. They bring a steadiness, a competitiveness, and they're definite leaders of the team in terms of strategy.
We'll go to the left side, second chair.
Yeah, Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. Jenny, you mentioned a few minutes ago you thought they got underseeded, IUPUI. What made you think that when you watched video, and what do you do to counter that in preparation for this game? I mean, your team's fairly unique in that it hadn't been in the NCAA several years. Everybody's going to be excited no matter what, but is there anything you have to do to make sure they know this isn't going to be a walkover?
Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks that we don't have to show up with everybody giving everything they have. I mean, obviously Notre Dame's a very good basketball team, and so is IUPUI. I say that partially because I do think, as I say that, with them having a 13 seed, what makes me say that is they beat some pretty good teams in the non-conference, and sometimes you can't help your conference schedule, and there's reality to that, and I've seen that side of it and trying to strategize in different ways to be able to really improve that net number or that RPI number. They've got a lot of experience on that team. There's a lot of fifth-year seniors on that team. They missed the tournament a couple years ago because COVID shut it down. So they were more than prepared. So that's why I say that. Now I also think, how about women's basketball and the parity of our sport right now? I mean, there's upsets all over the place in the last couple days, and so that's pretty awesome from a parity standpoint. You can see we're heading in an incredible direction with a lot of talent and a lot of great teams. And so this is a March Madness, I think, that is is one that's just a snapshot of where we're going as a game.
We'll stay on the left side first.
Hey, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. On a night you have a great crowd, you also get a pretty substantial donation for your program. What does that mean just in the totality of the evening, but also what you can possibly do with that gift?
Well, yeah, Susie's she's an incredible person, and I love what's behind the gift in terms of being able to, again, kind of almost it's perfect timing. Our game is heading in an incredible direction, and women supporting women is incredible right now. And so that's what we need to be able to do. You know, I've talked about it even from, you know, I have young kids, and we need to see more women coaching their young kids, and we need to see more gifts like Susie's, women supporting women's programs. And I think this, again, we're just starting the tip of the iceberg of what these things can do. But these women that see Susie do this, it's an incredible example. And so I'm really proud of that, and really proud of this program to receive that. And I know that there's going to be more as we go.
We'll go to the right side on the far back.
Hey, Coach. Tarek Mosseri, Norman Transcript. When Liz Scott got into foul trouble, did that have any effect on the way that the minutes for Skylar Van in the game?
It did. It does. Yeah, Liz is really important. I mean, she had some great hustle plays when she was in there, and unfortunately, we just have to get rid of some of those fouls. So if we can get rid of some of those fouls, she's just a tremendous asset to our team because she does have some versatility. And I thought those minutes were really good. We just have to get rid of those fouls. But yes, that is definitely a reason where Skylar has to play a little bit more. And honestly, I thought Dee Lampkin did a really nice job tonight for us too.
And then,
We'll continue on the far right and go back to standing. Yep.
Yeah, Cliff Brunn, Associated Press. You know, you just talked about the parity in women's basketball. With that being said, how impressive is it for the Big 12 to go undefeated?
Isn't that awesome? I mean, it's incredible for our league. And, you know, this is obviously my first year in the Big 12, but I have said this countless times at how great this league is, and especially our non-conference scheduling. Obviously, the NCAA tournament, the first round, but we have to play each other 2 or 3 times, and I think that makes it a little bit challenging. And so a lot of leagues don't have to play everybody twice, and we do. And that's not good or bad, but I think it just shows how great our league actually is and the preparation that our league has given us for this tournament.
We'll have time for one more question. Second row on the right side.
Hey, Jenny, John Hoover, SI Sooners. So tonight was your 10th win of 6 points or less. And when you've got 9 of those in your pocket, and things start getting tight, and it's the NCAA tournament and survive in advance, how much do you rely on those earlier experiences? I mean, overtimes and buzzer beaters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's just a makeup of who you are. It's part of the whole season. It's part of who we are this whole year. And, you know, it's also probably, I don't know what game it's been that they've had a dominant center inside and we've had to game plan against, and I don't know what game it's been where we've got to do a better job rebounding, and what game it's been where we've done a great job in terms of our transition offense. So I think it's just part of who we are. I love that our players really manage it really well, and sometimes the ball goes in and sometimes it doesn't, and I think the really nice thing is learning, and especially helpful for this time of year, is it doesn't affect the other end. And so I think one end doesn't affect the other end as much as maybe it would have early if we didn't have that experience.
Thank you, Coach. That concludes Oklahoma's availability.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. In all honesty, this means a lot to us and our fan base and everything else. So I really appreciate all of you. Boomer.
A recording of this press conference will be available in the